Hi everybody, so I'm here today to show you just one product, and this product needed a video all to itself because this is the Hermès Rocabar. So you may have already seen this teased. You can already see though the bad news from swatching it, but anyway, we'll talk about that later in the video. But this did deserve a video all of its own because of how much it cost, how beautiful it looks on arrival at least, and today we're going to find out what it actually looks like on the face and what it's for and what it's supposed to do, because with all of these colours it's had a lot of us, including myself, a little bit baffled as to what it was actually going to be. So I did actually bring out a few Chanel products thinking they might be a bit similar, and we will look at those, but I don't think they will be. This was not what I expected, but I have a feeling I'm going to be quite happy with it. So I'm quite excited to really delve into this today. And if you're new here, hi, my name's Hannah, I'm 48, I'm not a professional, but I am somebody who really loves makeup and beauty. And here on my channel, I show you the latest releases, my favourite looks, and give you any beauty news you might be interested in. If you do think you'd enjoy this content, I would be so grateful if you did subscribe. 50% of my viewers are watching without subscribing, so if you could, it really helps me ever so much, and I'd be so grateful if you did. But if you're already subscribed, welcome back. Thank you so very, very much for being here. And my skin tone, if we're looking at how this might work on me, I've got fair to light skin with predominantly cool undertones, but they do lean a little bit neutral, so I can wear warms a bit. I've also got blue eyes. Anyway, that is enough about me. Let's dive straight into this fabulous Rocabar review. Before we go into slightly negative talk, let's look at the swatch video. Here it is. So you can see, I'm sure you're not surprised. The negative bit is it got messy from the very first swatch, and it was going to, wasn't it? Because it had this white section here. I mean, it's just not looking quite as fabulous as when I first got it. Let's be honest. It could look more pristine, and I wonder how dirty it will look eventually. But it is quite built up, as you can probably see in the swatch video, and you can see here now on camera. You can see this raised bit here. It is quite significantly raised. So we might see this horse for quite a while. It's not a question of one swipe and gone. You can even feel the ridges here of the hair. Every single ridge. The detail on it is something else. It really is. So we have the whole thing raised. The legs, you can feel the bumps here. And from what I know of powders I've had in the past that have been that raised, it does last quite a long time. But obviously the sad part is the white is no longer pristine white. So I don't know if it would all blur into one image at some point. I will use this as much as I possibly can, considering how much I've paid for it. So you'll probably get to see the state of this quite often. But it is gorgeous. So when this first was teased, a lot of you asked me, and I certainly asked myself, is this going to be a 3-in-1? So do we have a blusher, a bronzer and a highlight, and somehow you have to pick apart those colours? Or is it like swirl it all around and it's going to be some sort of blonzer should I say, so bronzer and blusher all in one with a bit of a glow. And that was what my theory was, that because of these colours that look like sort of bronze, blush and highlight, I thought together that's going to give me a glowy bronzer, but it doesn't. It gives me a highlighter, essentially, a rosy glowy highlighter, which you've seen from the swatch. So I mean, what I would like to see is, can I single out some of these colours? So I don't know. Certainly I've picked up the brown there. Now if I go for the pink, there we go. So we do have two different colours, and I'll put them on the back of my hand. I don't know how much they'll show up. So you do see there the two separate colours. It's definitely working. So now if I just try to take the horse's head, which is white but slightly muddied from what I did earlier, I don't know if it'll work because it's slightly muddied. Yeah, it still looks quite pink, to be honest. I don't think I can separate the white. It does look like you can separate the brown and the pink. So that's sort of the horse's head. I say sort of because it got quite muddied. So I suppose you could argue you can get different looks, but why would you have to get right? Like if you wanted to use that as a bronzer, for instance, what sort of brush do you bronze with? I mean, you're not going to do this in bronze, are you? But you could possibly use it for the eyes, I suppose. I did actually put something on my eyes thinking there's no way I can use this. But anyway, before I start playing with it, the products I got out to compare it with, there was this one from Chanel. Obviously we have different colours, but it's a similar concept. Again, we've got the embossing with Chanel, quite raised embossing, but to completely different colours. And with Chanel, with these stripes being that much wider, it was a lot easier to try to get into all three, to do something with the three. But if I put the three together, it then just gives me that one tone, which is not going to be like this. And obviously it's a bit deeper. So that's the all-in-one tone I'm getting. If I now do a full swatch of the Hermès and muddy up that head again, we'll put that next to it so you can see the difference in case you've got that Chanel. So there's Hermès with all of the colours combined, and there's the one from Chanel. If you want the name of this one, it is called the Camellia Futura or Futura. And then the other one I got out from Chanel to compare it with was this one, which was a much more obvious bronze blush highlight. And this one is very easy to separate into all three. But again, I thought I would just mix the three together because I know a lot of you like to use it like that, just to show you what sort of colour I'm getting. And I do get a bronze, essentially. I think the brown colour takes over. If I mix together maybe just the blush and the, oh god, I've made a right mess of my Chanel now. Anyway, if I just mix the blush and the highlight, let's see if there's a bit of similarity there. I don't think there is. So that's just the blush and the highlight from that Chanel. So it's definitely not the same in any way. The closest to it would actually be the Camellia. That's quite close, but a little bit deeper. And I do see obviously the Chanel, especially this one is absolutely a bronzer, a blush and a highlight. See the mess I made of it there? I'm going to have to use that a few times to clean that up. Whereas this one I pretty much saw as an all-in-one because it's just easier to use it as an all-in-one. And this one doesn't give as much glow, but it does give more pigment. And this one is going to give you really the one and only product. It's not going to give you the all-in-one, even though we have seen that separation. So with that in mind, what I've got on my eyes today is the Makeup by Mario cream eyeshadow. I've got it in the Mauve. I probably shouldn't have put anything on my eyes with hindsight, but anyway, I didn't expect to be able to even get the brown to swatch, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take just the brown from the stripe using my number 21 brush from Victoria Beckham, and then just to see if I can get some sort of definition. I haven't put any definition into the look on my eye here, so I'm just seeing if I can do that. So I've got a sort of blank canvas in theory because I've just put down the cream shadow and absolutely nothing else apart from a bit of liner. So going by, I'm getting a little bit of depth, not a lot, and going by what's on my hand here, it's not really going to give you an awful lot, is it? I should have just left my eyes blank, shouldn't I? I really didn't expect it. What I was expecting to do with this was just use the colours all mixed together as a highlight to put as a topper on my lid, which I will still do. But it is adding something there, used on its own. And obviously that's layered on top of the Mauve. I think I'll do a shorts video with this. I'm trying to do a full eye look, which is what I probably should have done today, but I will do a shorts video doing that, so please do look out for that And in that shorts video I will use this brown shade as my transition, and then I will use the pink for say the first third, and then I will sweep all three together for this section of the eye. The outer third I meant for the pink, if you're confused by what I just said. Yeah, it has added something there, hasn't it? Not a lot, but it has, definitely. I've got more definition there. So let's try the pink on its own now, over that mauve, and see if I can get a bit of colour, just the pink. Oh yeah, I can. Gosh, that's quite pretty, isn't it? It's a glowy pink, so it's not just the white that's bringing the highlighter effect, because it is a silk glow. We will look at the details of it now. I've written it all down. So this is a silk glow powder. You can see it emphasises the texture of my eye quite a bit. It's definitely giving me a bit of pink, quite a bit. It's actually giving me a lot more than I expected. I'm a bit surprised, if you can't tell. But definitely can't be a bronzer, because there's no way you could get a brush to work for that. I do really like it, it's just the pink on its own. Now the problem is, to get the full effect of the more highlighty shade, really you need to swirl it all around. But anyway, I think what I'll do is I'll use the same brush, and I'll just go around that part of the horse, nothing else. Maybe it'll actually clean up a bit for me. It is cleaning up a bit, you know. So I'm getting back to the white. I'm going to be a bit more kind to this now so that it doesn't get dirty again. So now I've just got that white, but I did clean up a bit of the pink actually. Oh yeah, so I've got three colours on my eye with it. I was so not expecting this, you know. Isn't it beautiful? So you can get three colours out of it with one brush to do your eye. And I do think having that cream matte base has actually worked quite well, because I wouldn't want all shimmer. It gives it a nice base. Oh, that really is quite special, isn't it? Wow. I wonder if I can clean up. Anyway, I won't try and clean up the rest now, but I'm going to try and clean up the horse's body after. Let me just go back into that horse's head, which is now just that white, and take that on the intersection of this eye. So it's still rosy. It's very hard to avoid the rose, even when you're going on the horse's head, because you've got these pink sections all across the head. So it's not easy to avoid, but it is relatively doable. And to be fair, taking your time with something that's beautiful is not that difficult to do, because it's the sort of thing you pull out and you want to spend time with it, you want to enjoy it. So that's how I see it anyway. I'm happy to spend that little bit of time, that little bit of extra time. Let's go with this brush, just with this one now, and take that in the inner corner where I don't have anything at the moment. Perfect for that, you know. Perfect. That is so pretty, and I'm just so impressed with the way I've managed to get different tones from it. I'm actually really impressed and pleasantly surprised. So this is an eyeshadow for sure. If you like these colours, this is an eyeshadow look. Wow, look at it. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. Let me try it again, horse's head. Let me try it under the brow. It's not quite as white as I would like for under the brow, because even though I'm now literally just getting the white, it's not white white, it's somehow still slightly pink, even though it looks like I'm going into the white. So it's more like a light pink, a lighter pink. But that is so pretty. It really is. So as soon as this brush from Victoria Beckham cleaned the horse's body up, I'm going to go back and clean it up a bit more to show you how not to treat it. I did that for the swatch video because I wanted you to see the full effect, but let me just give it more of a clean up, and I will try and keep it clean then. There we are. I think that's the best I can manage. So I've gone back over with the brush, and now my horse is looking a lot tidier. Not perfect, but a lot tidier. So now when I want to sweep all the colours together for the face, I'm thinking, let's try two different things. What brush shall I use? I think I might go with the Sonia G. Is this Sonia G? Yeah, the classic cheek. And I think what I'll do is I'll just take it from here. So I'm not getting any of that white if I go there. And a brush like this is reasonable size for me not to need to go over the horse's head at the moment. And then we can see what it does. Now, I do have a little bit of colour on my cheeks as well. Again, I just wasn't expecting quite more than just a highlighter from this, to be honest with you, from the descriptions I've since read. Because I see this is a blush topper, I'll tell you what I've got on my cheeks. I've got a little bit underneath powder of the Victoria Beckham, the Water blush. Is that what the name is? The Colour Wash. I love this, in Flushed. I've just got a little bit, which gives me quite a natural finish. So it's like I have got literally a natural flush, like I've been out running or something. So now you're seeing what this looks like as a topper. And it's not looking massively like a highlighter. It's just like a glowy topper or a slightly glowy blush on me. I think if you've got a deeper complexion, this will only be a glowy topper. It's a very sort of smoothing formula as well. It's not emphasising texture on my face. It did on my eyes. It's not massively pigmented though. Again, when I do my shorts video, I will have nothing on my cheeks. I really should have done this differently. This is the way I thought it would be the best way to present it, to show how it will work as a highlighter and a blush topper, but I think I need to show you how it would work completely on its own as well. So please do look out for that. I'll definitely get that done in the next few days. So now for this side, I want to incorporate all the colours without wrecking the horse. I think the only way to do that is to sweep across here and get the white. I will mess up this section of the horse a bit. But I want to keep the horse's head white because I think that's useful to me for using for my inner corner and things. So I'm basically taking all the shades from here. Now I'm going to take it on this cheek. So this should be a little bit more glowy. Yeah, I can see a bit more of a pop of light here. Yeah. So this side is definitely lacking that glow. There's a hint of glow, but this side's got a real wow factor glow, and that's because I've taken in all of the colours. It's a shame you can't really separate that highlighter to use it as blush then highlight. So for this side, for instance, it would be nice to just put a little bit of highlighter on, but I'm trying to think, I'd have to take the tiniest of brushes to do it, like maybe this one. And then put a touch on the top, so I'm separating it out a bit. But I want to think of multiple ways to use this, how to still keep it looking pretty, how to enjoy it in multiple ways. Do you know what, I think that has worked. And then if I go down the horse's head for taking it down the nose, yeah, that did work. And then maybe the Cupid's bow. Oh yeah. Do you know what? I'm actually pleasantly surprised by this in so many ways. And I'm kicking myself now for not having a blank canvas, so I do apologise for that. I'm just reaching here into my drawer because my #1 highlight from last year was this one from Hermès. I adore this. I thought I would just do a comparison if you're curious, because there aren't any similarities. It's not the same sort of product. But just in case you're wondering what the sort of shade match is like. So this one has that rose gold finish and it is absolutely gorgeous. Now this one had much less in the way of embossing. It wasn't raised in the same way, but you can see I still haven't completely lost this, and I've had it for a year. It doesn't look pretty anymore. But this embossing is completely different. It's a completely different product anyway. I would definitely call it, oh, it's so good, this highlighter. Every time I swatch it, it's just, formula wise and finish wise and everything, nothing beats it, nothing, including this new Rocabar, but it's a different product, like I said. So if I just take all of the colours now from the bottom, so I can give you a direct comparison between the two, you'll see just how different they are in terms of glow and in terms of colour. So here's Rocabar, and here is the, what's the full name of it? I always forget. It's Or, isn't it? Or Rose 02. So yeah, nothing like each other, and you can see this is very much a sort of glowy blush, which I should have used completely on its own because it's got so much more pigment than I was expecting. I think it's gorgeous, you know. So let's look at the information. It says on the website, it's a limited edition silk powder paying tribute to Henri d'Orange. I don't know how to say that, his name. I'm just going to stop there because I don't want to butcher it. Anyway, Henri's design for the Rocabar silk scarf, inspired by the rugs used to keep racehorses warm in the 19th century. The skin acquires a luminous, long-lasting, healthy glow with rosy highlights. Absolutely. That's just my eye. Refills are not available for limited edition colours, but you can reuse this compact with any of the available shades of Trio Healthy Glow or Iridescent Mineral Powders. So there are other trios you can get from Hermès apparently, in line with their anti-waste regulations. So it does say, application, maybe I should have read this first. The light texture of Rocabar Silk Powder lets you apply just the right amount of colour to illuminate the contours of the face or give the whole complexion a subtle glow. I would not put that all over my whole complexion, not on my skin tone. Never. That would look dreadful on me, I think. This will create a delicate rosy finish across the entire face. To highlight the cheekbones, use a, well, it says to use their brush, which says Le Précis, which I presume means a precise brush, which I think I've just pretty much used. Use on your cheekbones, which will be illuminated with a subtle rosy flush. So that's it. That's all the information on the website. $121. So I titled this Glow or Gimmick. It's not a gimmick. It is gorgeous. It really is. How much are we getting? It's 12 months shelf life and you're getting 15 grams of products. That's not bad. I think this highlighter, which I'm still using a year later, I paid 90 for, I think. And that one's got 7 grams. So it's literally got double the amount of the highlighter. I think you'd use more products with this, but it is double the size. I paid £100 for this and I paid just over 90 for this last year. So I'm getting twice the amount of product. I'm getting this gorgeous horse. I'm getting multi-use as well because I can do eyes and cheeks and I can use it, well, I think for the cheeks, for me, to be fair, it's just a glowy blush, I think, or a glowy blush topper. But you could sort of do what I did here, which was to use this side across the cheek and then use the horse's head to highlight the top. And I think you can see the difference where you've got the entire glow on this cheek. And then on this cheek you've got the more glowy blush with the highlight section on the top. So you can sort of do that as well. So I'm getting eyes and cheeks, blushy topper and highlighter. So all of those products all in one, double the amount. So, and I'm not paying much more. I'm still paying an awful lot. It is Hermès. But to be fair, that is not too bad if you're happy to pay what I paid last year. And I have to admit, I am more than happy I paid for this last year because it's become my best highlighter ever. Nothing has ever beaten it. Nothing this year has beaten it. I still have it absolutely at my #1. So I can't wait to keep using this one now. I'm going to use it quite regularly and use it in as many ways as I can. So do look out for my end of month review where I will let you know how I'm getting on with it and how I'm using it and what my thoughts are. Do I regret the purchase? Do I love it in the same way I love that highlighter? I can't imagine I would because that highlighter is just, it's just incredible. But I have to say that, like, my eyes in particular, I love, love, love. But do keep in mind, as I said, that I did have this mauve base, which I think worked really nicely. So this sort of shade underneath it seems to really complement it and work very well. My eyeliner, by the way, is Taupe. I've got everything else I've got on my face today linked below if you're interested. But anyway, I think it's gorgeous. Would you think it's worth a splurge? I think it is so special. It'd make a lovely present. I have noticed the website I found it on, is now out of stock. So I've linked it below in case they come back into stock, but it's currently out of stock, I'm afraid. But I do believe it's going to launch on the Hermès website any day now, so hopefully everyone will be able to get it from wherever you are. But it was just a French website, I believe I got mine from, and it came to me within actually about 4 days, so a very quick service here in the UK from that website, which was called 24, I've got it here actually, 24S. I've never tried them before, but yeah, that's the company that had it. So anyway, that's it. A nice short and sweet video today showing you this rather beautiful, gorgeous Rocabar. What are your thoughts? Are you wowed? Are you unimpressed? Are you tempted? Whatever your thoughts are, please do let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear. And if you've enjoyed this video, please do hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed, I would love it if you did. But if you already are, you're at the end of another review, and I'm so grateful to you. I really, truly am. And I hope to see you all again for my next video. Take care, everybody. Bye.